Hello, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be ranking all 25 of the Dark Souls 3 bosses with a little bit of a twist. It's not just going to be me listing through all 25 in the order that I find them. I have a buddy with me today, my friend Bryce, who's going to be going through the list with me, and we're going to discuss what we like and what we don't like about both bosses. Say hello, Bryce.
Hello, everybody.
What is your experience with the Souls series?
My experience with the Dark Souls series has been, over the past couple of years, just been becoming acquainted and really falling in love with the series. It's become my second favorite game series of all time. It started with Dark Souls and just worked my way up from there, and Dark Souls 3 is my favorite of all of the Soulsborne series. So
the format we're going to be doing here is we both have our rankings for how we view the Dark Souls 3 bosses, and we're going to go through them point by point. I'm going to present which boss that I have at a particular ranking, and then Bryce is going to present his, and we're going to discuss the boss that Bryce has at that ranking. All right, so we're going to start off really quick here. My number 25 is Volnir.
So my number 25 is the Ancient Wyvern. This may be a little bit of recency bias. We just did a boss rush mode, and I had to play through this 4 different times, still didn't get it, and Jared had to do it because I got too upset. Volnir is a good example of something that is just a little bit easier to get around. Ancient Wyvern, like, it's you know, a gimmick boss, and so it's a little bit easier to fight at the end, but the run back is just so, not even to the boss fight itself, but the run back to get to the spot to get the gimmick, and then if you miss the gimmick, then you have to do it all over again. Yeah. And I think that the penalty is way too great.
Honestly, fair. I mean, I'm not going to really defend the Ancient Wyvern that much. There's not much to defend, in all honesty. The only thing I have to say that's in its favor is that it's a dragon, but
it looks cool. I'll give you that. It looks cool, and it breathes fire.
Even though it's kind of frustrating when it breathes fire on you when you're trying to run around to the spot where you kill it. I don't know. The Ancient Wyvern, I used to not hate it as much as I do now, because I was just like, oh, it's not that bad. I mean, you got an interesting little run-up to go kill him in one shot. Then I realized, no, the run-up's actually not that interesting at all. It's just a bunch of the same mobs that you run up and fight on your way to him when you get to the Archdragon Peak. And so it's like, is it really that worth it for me to run around?
It's like Mikolash, but worse.
Now, see, I don't hate Mikolash.
I don't either. But I'm saying is like the same idea. Yeah. Like, people don't like Mikolash because you are running around, but he's still difficult, whereas you miss out on that difficulty with the gimmick of the one shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Ancient Wyvern wasn't a great idea, not a great fight. Anyways, we can move on to number 24. My number 24 is Ancient Wyvern, so not much better there. What's your 24 price?
My number 24 is Lord Volnir.
Lord Volnir. Okay, so we flip-flopped our bottom two. Okay, so Volnir, the reason why I have Volnir beneath Wyvern, it's as superficial and as stupid as this sounds, is I like the design of Ancient Wyvern so much more than I like the design of Volnir, just because Volnir is just, what is he, a big skeleton in the dark? Even though Volnir is not hard, hitting him is so stupid sometimes. Every time I get to Volnir, I'm just like, oh, really? Do I have to do this again? I don't know. What do you think about Volnir?
So the only reason that he is higher than Ancient Wyvern for me is because you're able, I mean, I guess if you die, you have to like go across the bridge with the skeletons and stuff like that, but it's not too terrible. Like, the run back isn't great by any means, but you get there, right? And then you immediately can fight him. It's not like how, you know, Ancient Wyvern, like, you're in the boss arena and you have to run all the way up.
Yeah.
You just immediately, Volnir's right there, you fight him.
The slimmest of margins separating these two admittedly terrible boss fights. Yeah. I'm someone that likes a good gimmick fight. Keyword good. And I don't think Volnir does a very good job of having a good gimmick fight. It's just tedious if he's moving his wrist away from you, and if he doesn't move his wrist away, the fight's over in 10 seconds, and it was not particularly interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a forgettable boss than, like, you know, Ancient Wyvern, just because, you know, with Ancient Wyvern, it's the spectacle of, like, the dragon and stuff like that, but, like, I think because it's so forgettable, it can go a little bit higher because it doesn't overstay its welcome.
My number 23, I hate this boss fight with a flaming passion. Number 23, I have Crystal Sage.
So number 23 for me is actually going to be Curse-Rotted Greatwood.
Really? You don't like the Curse-Rotted Greatwood, huh?
I got 4 words for you.
4 words.
Smacking sacks of fluid.
That's all you have to do the entire time.
I got 4 more in a man's crotch. The mere fact that it's just a gross fight. It's just everything about it. Like the enemies in the actual arena, not that impressive. They're again just the same sort of mobs of the same enemies that you just faced. I'm never a big fan of seeing the same enemies over and over, especially when they're just put into a boss fight for an arbitrary reason, and it's just kind of a whatever boss fight, honestly, and it's just grosses me out.
Honestly, fair enough. I mean, he definitely is not a very appealing boss fight to fight against. I mean, I don't dislike it as much as you do. I think it's an okay gimmick fight. I mean, it's not the most interesting. Obviously, there's better gimmick fights out there. But the only things I really have against this fight is that sometimes it's really hard to either find the sack you need to hit or hit it in general. One, because it's like out of reach, because someone like on his hands or like on his leg, and it's kind of hard to reach it. Or whenever he does the stupid acid diarrhea move, it's not an interesting move. It's just, oh, I'm gonna raise up, and then there's gonna be something on the ground that's annoying for you to have to walk through.
Sacks. That's what I'm talking about. Those sacks of fluid that you're smacking, he's just bursting them all over you, and he just degrades your armor.
Okay, fair, but how many bosses in these games are just absolutely vile?
I'd say like 60%.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, is it really that much worse than some of the other fights in the series?
No, I won't say that it is. I mean, the Souls games are no stranger to being very visceral and vile, but it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris Ryder Greatwood. I things I like about the fight. I like the idea of having a few key weak spots you have to hit. That's not. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Some bosses have done that very, very well. Some bosses have not. But I will mention briefly, like Midir. Certain parts of his body take more damage than others, and I like that idea where it's like, oh, the certain parts are more damage susceptible than others. Whereas Curse Rider Greatwood, the thing that annoys me is like, even though I like the idea of having weak spots, you can't hit him anywhere else. Like if you hit him anywhere else, your weapons either bounce off or they just do nothing. Anything else you want to mention about Greatwood before we move on?
No, I got exactly what I wanted out.
My number 22 is Deacons of the Deep.
My number 22 is Crystal Sage.
So Crystal Sage, I think the reason, this is a stupid reason to not like Crystal Sage, but I just don't like Crystal Sage because I think he's a total wuss. You smack him once and he's like, all right, guys, I'm going to head out, actually. I don't want to be around here anymore. And he goes into some other random part of the arena and then shoots magic at you until you can smack him again. And then he's like, actually, guys, I'm going to create clones of myself so you don't know which one's me. So I have more time to hit you before you can hit me again, and then I teleport away. It's just a tedious fight I'm not a strength build, so I don't do a lot of damage very quickly, especially early on, like using my favorite weapon in Dark Souls 3 is the Sellsword Twin Blades, and early on, those weapons do not do a ton of damage very quickly, and especially during Crystal Sage's fight, it's just annoying. Or I get maybe a 20th of his health bar down, maybe not that much, maybe not that little, but maybe a 10th of his health bar down, then he's like, all right, I'm gonna peace out, and I have to repeat that process 10 different times. It's an okay concept, but the only reason why he's above Volnir and what's his name, Wyvern on my list is just because those fights are just awful in pretty much every single way. And Crystal Sage actually has some merit to his fight, even though I don't think it's very much. But I don't know.
Personally, I think that for me, it's just like magical whack-a-mole. You said that he's like a coward or whatever. Like that is true. I think that for me, he at least it's not a gimmick to where you still feel like you're accomplishing something because like you're whittling away a health bar instead of like Ancient Wyvern or like Volnir, where it's like Volnir you do with the 3 hits, but like for me it's above Curse Rotted Greatwood just because like it's not as disgusting for one, and for two I just feel like it's a not necessarily easy fight, but a good fight for where you're at. So you just went through the road of sacrifices and gotten all these different enemies, and instead of going straight on to Fair and Keep or whatever, you're able to have some time to get some extra souls and stuff. So I think it's a little bit more beneficial, and it's something that is still like somewhat fun because the attacks are varied and like you still have to get up to him and stuff. And it's very satisfying as like a strength build to like go up and just like beat his face in. for a little bit because he is a coward, and you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna run away from me? Okay, sure, yeah. Watch this.
Crystal Sage, for me, I'm good, thanks.
I mean, we have the same bottom 4.
Yeah.
So we're just in a different order. Like, they're all bad.
They're not. Yeah, none of them are.
None of them are beating out the other, really.
The hot takes have not come in yet, folks.
The next one.
The next one's a hot take for you. My next number is Old Demon King, number 21. What is your number 21?
My number 21 is Half-Light, Spirit of the Church.
Is that really a hot take, though? I feel like most people online don't care for Half-Light that much.
So I'm talking about both the offline and online versions.
Do you have a preference which one's worse, or
definitely the online ones?
Online is worse?
Yeah, way worse. I don't like. It's the same thing with the old monk from Demon Souls. I just don't like. I don't like PvP very much. I'm very much a PvE player when it comes to Dark Souls and the Souls series, and so whenever I have like an invader or whatever, like I try and just make them upset so that they leave.
That's not a you thing to do.
I think the offline version is a lot better just because it's a little bit more fun for me. Either it's like, when you play PvP, you're rolling the dice and it's hard to make sure that the difficulty is at the correct level. Sometimes it's going to be way too hard for like where I'm at. Sometimes it's going to be way too easy. Sometimes you get, Lord Pickle.
I don't know. Lord Pickle's pretty good.
I played a Lord Pickle. I'm not kidding. That wasn't a joke. And Lord Pickle.
Did he destroy you?
Absolutely smashed my face.
I figured he probably would. Lord Pickle is a very frightening name.
So I don't know if Lord Pickle will ever see this video, but if they do, I know you. And also, I can't not talk about this. The dialogue in the beginning, every single time.
It's the most frustrating part of the fight by far. I don't mind Half-Light as much as you because I'm also not a PvPer in Dark Souls, but I like the novelty of having a boss fight that you can summon another person in and have a little bit of an exchange there. I don't particularly care for when someone just invades me out of the blue, but if I invite it in, yeah, sure, I'll have a little fight with you. But I agree with you 100% that dialogue at the very beginning is so frustrating to listen to. I know the reason why they do it. It's just because like it needs to load in the person who's like wanting to be Half-Light, but still it does not excuse the fact that you have to sit there for a minute, pretty much, listening to this dude drone on and on about nothing, and while you're waiting for Half-Light to show up. It's just, yeah. So I agree with you there. It's not great, but I do like the novelty of the fight, and I like. This is a controversial take because I think most people don't like Half-Light's kit, like his moveset. I like it. I think it's actually really neat. The only thing I don't like about it is the extra guy that gets summoned in that's supposed to heal him.
The soldiers, the soldier painting or whatever, yeah, the painted soldiers. Just because,
I don't know, it didn't need to be a gank fight. Why'd you make it a gank fight? There's no reason to make it a gank fight. I mean, we have a beautiful moment from the video that we just recorded of you doing the boss rush mod of getting just absolutely murked by both of them in like 2 seconds.
It shouldn't be allowed. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be allowed.
He was doing perfectly fine. He had Half-Light, like past halfway. The second Guardian guy came in, and they both just.
I don't know how that even happens. How does that happen?
Went from full health to dead in like 2 seconds. It was a sight to behold. It was fantastic. My number 20 is Cursed Greatwood. A little bit higher, not too much higher than yours. He's above Old Demon King because I think Old Demon King's boring, but I'll get that when we get to your Old Demon King. What's your number 20?
My number 20 is Deacons of the Deep.
Deacons of the Deep. All right. I felt bad putting Deacons at 22 because I don't hate the Deacons fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not a bad. I mean, it's not great. It's really easy, especially if you have Alluring Skulls. It just breaks the fight entirely because you just throw an Alluring Skull. All the deacons are like, "Ooh, what's that?" And they leave the one deacon that's like the main guy alone, and he's just like, "Wait, guys, I kind of need you to like defend
Hey guys,
me.
Come back! Please come back!
I mean,
why are you leaving? Oh no!"
And then you just go wail on him until he dies because he doesn't do anything to you. I mean, it's not a bad fight, but why do you have it at 20? Like, what's the rationale there?
So I'm a sucker for like old Gothic aesthetic, and so like old church aesthetic, very much like is very cool. The fight itself, boring, and like I already said, like I'm not a big fan of just like regular mobs that you already see like out there, and that's exactly what that fight is. It's just a bunch of those, but like just the overall aesthetic, the music, I really really like. And also, again, it's pretty easy, so you can kind of just like enjoy it, if that makes sense. You can just enjoy the fight instead of it being a chore.
A chore.
Yeah, it's not a chore in order for it to like actually work. So I think that overall, like I just like the overall aesthetic more than those ones below it. It's fair. Like I could see like I honestly like the fight with Half-Light is better than Deacons of the Deep. I'll give you that, but I personally just like it a little bit more.
All right, that's fine. This is all personal preference. It's not like I'm gonna say you're objectively wrong. Man. You're wrong. I mean,
it sounds like Gale.
Some of the
man needs his Tums, all right.
Get his Pepto in. Help that upset stomach is. No, this is definitely not an objective list. I mean, some of my choices here are definitely reflect that truth. I will say about Deacons though, that soundtrack did not need to go as hard as it does.
No, for sure.
Deacons soundtrack is so good.
That's why, like, it's the same thing with like I like my favorite song in Demon Souls is the Old Monk song. Again, very much like the aesthetic and that sort of stuff. Hate the fight. It's a it's just PvP. Or I hate it. But the soundtrack, I don't know what they do with like that harpsichord and stuff like that, but like, oh yeah.
I honestly don't remember the Old Monk soundtrack. I'll have to listen to it at some point, but
the music in these other fights also doesn't do it for me, but that's why Deacons of the Deep is so high for me, or not so high, but like higher than others.
Yeah, that's fair. Only bosses that I think are actually like really bad in this game are just Crystal Sage, Ancient Wyvern, and Volnir. I think Dark Souls 3 is probably the highest, besides Sekiro, but I know you haven't played Sekiro, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But I think Dark Souls 3 has the highest tier of bosses overall. I think it has
I'd agree with
the higher quality of boss fights itself. I think the bosses in Dark Souls 3 are a higher quality than the other games.
A lot of Elden Ring stands are going to be really mad at.
Well, Elden Ring stands can go do themselves. I don't care.
Whoa.
No, Elden Ring is good. It is a good game. But there are way too many reskin boss fights and way too many unnecessary gank boss fights. Godskin Duo is one of the most hellish creations that's ever been made on this entire planet, and I hate it. So Elden Ring's really good, but I'm sorry. Just the fact that they have so many unnecessary reskins and gank fights crammed into it, nah, man. I'll take Dark Souls 3 over Elden Ring in boss quality any freaking day of the week.
What's your number 19?
My number 19 is Vort.
Vort?
Yeah, I know he's a little bit low, and I feel bad putting him that low, but he's just kind of bland. What was your number 19? We'll get to Vort when we get to the Vort.
My number 19 is Osiris.
Where's Osiris on mine?
This is where my hot take kind of comes in.
I don't think Osiris is a particularly loved fight in most regards. I like Osiris for a bunch of really wacky reasons. Why don't you like Osiris? What do you?
Forgettable.
Do you hate Osiris? Or
forgettable.
He's just forgettable? That's
forgettable.
Fair, honestly.
Like, he's super forgettable. I honestly, sometimes, like, we were doing the boss rush mod. I completely forgot that he was even in the game. I think, like, overall, like, it's an okay fight. Like, I think it's interesting, like, his, like, inner monologue being his outer monologue of, like, talking about, like, losing.
Awesome!
Yeah, that, lamenting a crying child that's not there, like, that's cool, like, I get that, but like overall it's just very forgettable. Like, it's just, especially like if you consider the area that you're in, and you switch over from doing the main quest and you're like going down to get the Firekeeper's eyes and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, it's just mostly it's just forgettable, and like I don't it's uninspired, it feels like.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. He's kind of a boss that I have I wouldn't say love-hate relationship with, but it's a boss that I either like, or a boss that I hate whenever I play Dark Souls 3. Because I get to his boss fight, and his boss fight either goes fairly swimmingly with him just, doing his thing, and I'm just kind of dodging through his moves, and I'm just like, okay, this isn't a bad fight. I love the dialogue. His dialogue and his voice acting goes hard for no reason. I don't know why. It just sounds
top tier.
It's very top tier in terms of his voice acting and his dialogue. But my biggest gripe with Osiris, I like his fight and his moveset generally. I like that he gets more feral as you go along through the fight. That's the neat concept. But that stupid charge, man. That charge it doesn't deal a ton of damage. I mean, it does a decent amount of damage, but it's just nearly impossible to see coming. It's just out of nowhere. He'll just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm just going to charge into your face now, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it doesn't matter how far away you are from me. I'm probably going to hit you anyways.
Well, you're on the opposite side of the map. I don't care.
Well, it's like I've seen hitboxes of people like standing behind him, not even touching him, and he does this charge, and it hits them somehow. It's like,
I will say,
what the freak?
Sometimes I feel like that with Midir. I know. I'm sorry.
We'll get to Midir when we get to Midir.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but there's no way.
We'll get to Midir when we get to Midir. But Osiris, I think, has the most egregious example of a Dark Souls 3 hitboxes. I mean, there's a big meme about Dark Souls 2 hitboxes just being egregious, and they are. Not all of them, but like there's a lot of them that are terrible. Dark Souls 3, pretty good when it comes to hitboxes. Like pretty solid. Like
I think the best hitbox that is when you don't notice it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, ooh, that was like you look at it later and you're like, ooh.
Oh, nice.
That's nice. That's tight. I like that. But yeah, Osiris, just nothing really else to say about Osiris. He's kind of bland, kind of boring. He's a little bit higher up on my list, but anyways, moving on to number 18. This is my first hot take of the video. My number 18 is Pontiff Sullivan.
Incorrect.
I understand.
You're wrong. You're incorrect.
I know. We'll get to Sullivan when we get to Sullivan, and I'll explain why I do not like Sullivan very much. But what is your number 18?
My number 18 is Champion's Gravetender.
That's higher up on my list. Like, and spoilers, we're not going to see that for a bit on my list.
Yeah, so I understand why people might like it. It's very nostalgic for like Sif and stuff like that.
I'm not sure if he's a super loved fight though. I don't hear too many people talk about him very much. But
again, forgettable, kind of like Osiris, but like you know what I mean. Like I get it, but I think again you're just kind of fighting just like a regular hunter NPC person, and then like a giant wolf comes in. Like it's nothing too crazy. Also, I absolutely hate that attack that wolf does where he just charges around for like 4 minutes, it feels like, and just like...
It's not 4 minutes, it just like two or three times, then he stops.
Yeah, and then he does it again the next time, and you're like, okay, I'm sorry, like, I just dodged this. So, no, and like, for me, like, it's not a particularly hard fight. Whenever I play, I can almost always get through the champion's health bar before the wolf comes in. Like that's almost every single time for me, but it's not something that it's just, it feels like two separate fights. It doesn't feel very like joined. It doesn't feel very cohesive. And so like I think it's a little bit better than it's obviously in my mind a little bit better than like the previous fights, but I just don't think that it's as high up as like other ones.
That's fair. I mean, but like Champion's Gravetender, I mean, we both love dogs.
Dog.
Big dog. Maybe this is just my dog blindness talking, but I just like dog boss fights. I think what I like about this fight is that it's a pretty decent gank fight. First of all, I'll say this. I can understand why people don't like it. One, it's not the most visually stunning boss. Like, it's not really that interesting at all. It's just a dude and a wolf, whatever. And you fought similar wolves like this earlier on in the same area, so I can understand why you wouldn't particularly care for this design. And the other reason I can understand why people don't like it is that this DLC only introduced 2 bosses. It introduced Freed, which is a great fight. We'll get to her when we get to her. But we also introduced this guy. And it's like 2 boss fights, 1 area, and this is all, like, this is the second fight we get. That's it. Like,
it kind of feels out of place too. Like,
it does feel out of place.
Like you're just like exploring around, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, by the way, there's a boss fight now. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and again, I understand that argument, and I agree with it to an extent, but what I like about the fight, it's a gank fight that I think is done pretty well. First of all, the arena is great. The arena is this, I mean, it's obviously used for the PvP Coliseum thing or whatever it's called, but it's just a flat area that has the pillars that you can weave around whenever you have both the Gravetender and the wolf there. It's really nice to be able to navigate around both of those. I like how The first part of the fight is just the standard like one-on-one fight with a guy, which I know some people don't care for. Maybe it's just because I love Bloodborne, but I like that kind of fight. Me and one-on-one with some dude. When the wolf comes in, I just like dancing around both of them because I usually don't kill the guy before the wolf gets there. I know you did when we played earlier, but that's just because you have a strength build, and I don't ever do that. But is it the best fight in the series? No, but it's it's a decent gig fight.
And I mean, like,
I squeaked a little bit there, but it's a decent gig fight.
I mean, if you go higher register, like, it's always like, I don't know, but I like putting him at 18. It's like, again, like, we're out of the realm of like a bad
boss,
like a bad boss. Like, this is just like, it's an okay boss. It's not great in almost any way, but it's not like horrendous.
Yeah. Now, so my 17 is Half-Light. What's your 17?
At number 17, I have Old Demon King.
Oh, okay. I have him at 21, I think.
There's really no difference between 21 and 17.
Not really.
Like,
so
I say that he's a little bit higher just because I think that his moveset can be, it's at least varied enough that it can make for a fun fight. It can make for, like, I don't particularly like his fight very much, but I think it's cool. I think it's like his whole like fire breathing like attack where he like, vomits out a fireball and then like, hits you with it. Like, I think that's cool. Like, I think that there's a lot of good movement. Music is fairly good. Arena is kind of cool. I really like the aesthetic of that and being able to run around and stuff like that as needed. But again, just not much difference in this.
Yeah, and I don't know, Old Demon King for me, he's not a copy of the Asylum Demon, but he reminds me too much of the Asylum Demon.
I can agree with that. I can get behind that. Yeah, he just doesn't fly.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't fly. He doesn't have his butt slam attack, but it's just you walk into the arena and he has a similar look to him.
Yeah.
He has different moves, which is good, but at the same time, the moves don't really vary themselves enough to the point where...
I mean, his staff is basically the exact same. It's exactly the
same. But, I mean, it's not the copy, because that exists in Fair and Keep on top of that wall.
Very much so. I'm glad that we're not talking about that guy.
I'm glad.
I mean, he's not a boss, but, like...
Yeah. The less we talk about the Erdtree avatars in Elden Ring, the better.
Yes. Another more Elden Ring slander.
Gosh, Elden Ring is so good,
but it's also so bad.
It's also bad. It has the highest highs and the lowest lows of the series.
What's your number 16?
We're up to number 16. Number 16 is Dragon Slayer armor.
So my number 16 is Vort.
A little bit higher than I had him, but not terribly much higher than I had him.
So the reason I have him a little bit higher than like Old Demon King, Champion Gravetender, all of that, I just think that he's a good introduction, the secondary boss, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, you have like Udex, and like he's a great intro to the series, especially for people who are just starting. Dark Souls 3 is their first game, like in the Soul series. Like all of that, I think is like Udex does a great job, and then Vort is that one that just amps it up just enough and like makes it interesting enough. Like, you went from having more humanoid to a mini creature fight, if that makes sense. So like, I know that he is like a regular guy or whatever, not a regular guy, he's a fatso, but ultimately, like, I feel like it's a good intro to it's kind of like what Cleric Beast is in Bloodborne, where it's an intro to the monster fight, and you have Father Gascoigne, and that's kind of what Udex is, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of switched.
I can see that. Yeah.
And like, you'll see in my number 15, spoiler alert, it's Udex. It's the
I have him quite a bit higher. So
and like I totally get that. I think, like, again, it's just those intro fights are good. They're right in the middle. They're not fantastic by any means, but they're definitely not the worst.
Yeah, fair enough. I never have enjoyed fighting Vort. I mean, he's just really easy to cheese. Like, the first phase, you just stand underneath his belly and just smack him, and he does very little to you.
Can I say fatso? Is that okay? I don't think that maybe we'll get demonetized for that.
I don't think you're gonna get in trouble for saying fatso, but he's a fatso.
Fatso for sure. Fatso, certified fatso.
I mean, not even his second phase.
Fatso.
Not even his second phase makes him any harder. He does a little charge, and he does like a little like ice breath attack, which is he's just not a very hard fight. At least to me, I don't know. He's just whenever I fight Vort, I'm just kind of bored. He's a decent tutorial fight. He's not like he's on the bottom half of my list, but he's not in like the bad section by any means. He's just kind of he's a fight that's marred, at least for me, upon repeat playthroughs. He's just kind of bland. I just kind of fight him and I'm like, I get in there, I fight him, he's dead in like 30 seconds and I'm just like, and I move on. He's kind of a forgettable boss fight for me. Even though he's the tutorial boss, it's weird to call him forgettable, but he's kind of forgettable for me.
Well, I mean, like it makes sense because it's like the second boss that you fight, and then also it's just like I think another reason that I like him is because he doesn't overstay his welcome. He does what he's supposed to do, and then you can get in and get out. Like it's not something where this is supposed to make an impact on you. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's just something where, and also the music. That's where all the memes come from. So I got to put him a little bit higher.
All right, my number 15. I'm curious where you have this guy, actually. Number 15 I have is Aldrich. Are we going to overlap on any of these?
I don't know. We have not.
We have not yet, and we've been close, but not quite.
I mean, we've been, yeah.
The closest we've gotten was the first two, but I don't know if we're going to overlap.
Yeah, we just flopped those.
But, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Aldrich. So we'll get to Aldrich when we get to Aldrich, but what's your number 15?
My number 15 is Udex Gundyr. So, okay. Personally, what I think he's the best boss, like tutorial boss fight in any of the Souls games, and that includes like Bloodborne, Elden Ring, like all of that. Like, wow. I think that he does the best job. He showcases the second phase. He's able to, go just fast enough that you have to like really try instead of like other ones where it's like.
Just say it. The Asylum Demon. The Asylum Demon pushed forward.
But you know what I mean. Like that. The idea that you're able to get used to the movement and like what you're going to be able to expect about it, about in the game. I think that's where it shines. I just think that there are better fights. Just objectively, if that makes sense. So it kind of it's in that sweet spot of like really really good in what it does, but it lacks a lot for like a returning player. And that this, had you asked me like, a couple of years ago, I would probably put him a little bit higher.
Okay, fair enough. I also agree that he in the Souls series, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, I would agree he's the best one in those games. By far, he's the best tutorial boss fight in all those games.
Cleric Beast and Father Gascoigne are the only ones that I would probably might have.
That's where I'm getting at. I mean, Cleric Beast, I think he's better than Cleric Beast. Cleric Beast is great, but I don't love Cleric Beast. Does that make sense? But Gascoigne is just he's one of my top bosses in Bloodborne. So I love Gascoigne. I don't think Gundyr can touch Gascoigne personally, but.
See, that's where I would disagree. But I think that they both do the exact same thing. They
do a very similar thing.
They both introduce you to what you're going to expect, moving forward. I will say Father Gascoigne has, his second phase and that really messes with your mind. But I think once, you get Udex in his second phase and he's just this massive black monster thing, you're like, oh, especially as like you're starting to play, you're like, oh no, I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just caught off guard. Like, it wasn't very hard even after that.
No, he's not. You're just like sitting there. You're like, oh, okay. I'm gonna roll. I think for me, like I don't die to him like at all, really. Like,
well, especially now you played the game.
Yeah,
after you probably don't.
And so like, but my wife played it, and she has never played another Souls game, and so it took her quite a few times to beat Udex, but and like she got scared in the beginning.
Of course she did. Knowing Sarah, that does not surprise me at all. That's fun though. Yeah, so Gundyr, great fight. I love Gundyr. Anyways, 14 for me is Twin Princes.
Oh yeah, no, no,
Oh no,
definitely not.
What is number 14 here?
You're gonna be unhappy with me, I think. I think you're gonna be unhappy with me. I have Dancer.
Ooh, that's a hard disagree from me, my friend. I have Dancer so much higher. What do you know? Okay, so what makes you put Dancer that low? Is
Boring.
My question. Boring.
Personally,
Okay.
I find the fight slightly boring. Like, I think that like the movement is cool. I like the twin blades and stuff like that. Like all of that, I totally get. I think for me, it's just not as inspiring as other bosses. I think that like the music is kind of bland as well. Like it's kind of ethereal, which is cool, but it's not really what I like. It's not like my personal like. I think that she's better than like all the other ones, of course, but I think that I would definitely want to fight these other people more than her.
Really?
Yes.
I think it's a treat whenever I fight Dancer. I don't fight her. I mean, I don't play Dark Souls 3 a ton, but whenever I do fight Dancer, it's just, for me, I think it literally is. I love the name Dancer of the Boreal Valley because it's literally it's a dual dance essentially. That's a weird thing to say, dual dance.
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fate. But I just love how satisfying it is to weave around her attacks. I love the way that she moves. I love her design. And I will say, maybe this is unfair, but I love her introduction. I mean, if you kill Emma, you obviously get to fight. You fight her early, but if you don't, her introduction is so. It freaked me out when I first played the game.
Or where she comes out of the ceiling.
Well, because I
Yeah, for
finished,
sure.
I finished Aldrich, and then I was just like, okay, we got finished Aldrich, and all of a sudden I got teleported to this room, and I was like, where am I? And then she came out of the ceiling, and I was like,
I wasn't ready for this.
excuse me? And so that freaked me out. I was like, oh my gosh. And then she killed me, obviously, because. But I think that memory sticks out in my mind so so vividly, and I've just always enjoyed being able to just kind of weave around her attacks. She's not very hard for me at this point. I thought she's just a fun fight, and nothing more we can really say about it other than that. 13. Number 13 for me is Osiris.
Number 13.
Number 13 is Osiris. Again, he's a boss that I either love or I either hate. Not love. I either like a lot or I hate whenever I play the game. So he kind of fits in the middle of my list.
Wow.
I know. It's a weird placement, but I don't know. Something about Osiris just gets me. Like I said, the only thing I really have against him is that charge attack. Anyways, number 13. What's your number 13?
So my number 13 is Abyss Watchers.
Again, this is one I heavily disagree with.
I know. So
Two in a row.
Two in a row.
Oh, dear me. I don't think we're ever going to merge on any of these.
Nope, I don't think so.
Because we both know our number ones, and those number ones don't mesh up at all.
Well, our number like 1 through 5, I know doesn't mesh.
That's true.
So
number Abyss Watchers. I'll let you have the floor first. What about Abyss Watchers do you not love?
I think this is more of a personal problem, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm always over leveled when I get to Abyss Watchers. I think that they are a little bit too easy for where they are placed. And maybe that's just me because I like to explore and, level up and I'm very, very cautious with my souls, and so I level up almost immediately. I don't know. I understand like the whole gimmick of having the third one come in, the homie or whatever, and like it's fun and stuff. I do not like gank fights. Like that's my number one thing. Secondary phase, I like it. I like the second phase. It's very, very fun. But that first phase, I'm not a big fan of. And I feel like the movement is kind of cool. I think their movement is unique in how they move around the arena. But I feel like the first phase just isn't as good, and I just don't get the hype. Maybe I must be missing something because everybody that I talk to has Abyss Watchers a lot higher on their list, and I just don't see it.
I will say the two gripes I have with Abyss Watchers is one, that I agree with you. The arena is just kind of bland. It's just a square.
It's a box.
It's a box. And I mean, many boss fights in this series just have boxes for arenas, which is kind of,
how it goes.
Kind of how it goes with a series like this, especially because people are like, in Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1, people are like, oh, why are bosses like in weird places that I can like roll off of, or like and so From Software is like, fine, we'll make them all boxes. How does that
How do
sound?
you like that? Oh, now it's uninspired.
People, you can't please everybody. I understand that. Abyss Watchers, aside from that, the only other thing I have against Abyss Watchers is that they don't. I think they're a little bit too easy.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just they're too easy.
They're a little bit too easy, especially I mean, like the first phase being easy is fine. Easier is fine because there's one dude helping you, but they just don't have enough health. Like their health bar runs out so quickly, and it's like this feels weird that I'm killing these guys as easily as I am. They still kill me a lot because they suck, but
I understand. Don't worry. I'm by no means a professional player.
no, neither am I.
And so I still lose to them. Like, I'm not saying that, like, oh, I can go in and, like, make it really easy and stuff. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, it's just, I feel like I'm always over leveled, and maybe that's not because I'm over leveled. Like, sometimes I even have, like, a harder time with, like, Crystal Sage, if that makes sense. Because, like, oh, like, it just disappeared or whatever. But with the Abyss Watchers, like, the run back is kind of annoying because they have those, like, goat things that are in your way.
The run back's annoying. The run back's one of the worst parts of the fight.
And then, like, you get back to it, and then, like, I totally get all the moveset, and I get it. There's just so many other bosses that I would rather fight.
Yeah, and that's perfect. Again, that's perfectly fair. So again, I've mentioned before, I like a good gank fight. I think that first phase, aside from the fact the arena is bland and just a big square, that first phase is a great example of how to do a gank fight well, because it's not just, I mean, it can be a 3v1 if you're not careful. We saw that today. But I love the concept of the fact, I mean, the first thing you see when you walk into the arena is you see one of them kill another one, which sets up the fact that they are infighting a lot. But I love the idea of, oh yeah, you're fighting two dudes, and all of a sudden a third one rises up and starts helping you out. So it turns from a 2v1 to a 2v2, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a nice little idea.
And then he turns on you. All of a sudden, you're like, "Whoa, what?"
Like, bro, what I do, bro? But
And then
anyway.
he starts attacking the other guy, and you're like, "Oh, all right."
Okay, I don't even know what to believe anymore. No, I really enjoy that aspect of it, where it's just like, oh, it's a gank fight that's given to, if you play it correctly, it can be in your favor more than other gank fights are, which I appreciate. And that second phase, I don't know, that second phase is just sick. I don't know what to tell you. That second phase is just cool.
No, and
Everything turning
totally,
fire,
yeah.
and it's one of my the second phase is one of my favorite fights in the entire game. I just love the way he moves. I love his moveset. The same thing. I love his moveset.
I love the way he moves. I love the way he walks. I love the way that he like,
swings a sword.
He like goes around.
No, I just love his moveset. I love his look. I love the Abyss Watcher's look in general, and I just love. I don't know. I love pretty much everything about that fight. Again, the only gripes I have is a little bit too easy, and the arena is bland.
I disagree with liking their aesthetic.
Oh, really? You
That
don't like their
helmet
aesthetic?
is so ugly.
It looks hilarious, though. I think it's so cheesy.
It shouldn't,
looking,
though. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I understand that it's cheesy, but like, we're talking about this undead legion.
I understand that, but at least for me, maybe this is just my like stupid loving brain. Like I love stupid things. I just think it looks so stupid it makes them more menacing, because like these dudes that have wrecked so many people are just like, yeah, I'm wearing this helmet and I'm gonna wreck your face in. What are you gonna freaking do about it?
Is it kind of like the cone in Bloodborne?
Yeah, kind of like the cone in Bloodborne, except I don't care as much for the cone in Bloodborne.
Really, I would wear the cone over the Abyss Watcher's hat any day.
I would do the Abyss Watcher's hat any day of the week.
No shot.
I like the cone too. The cone's funny, especially the animation when you're going down a ladder and it goes.
Yeah.
So my number 12 is Champions Grave Tender and Great Wolf.
Wow, that's pretty high.
It's pretty high. Again, I've mentioned I like a good gank fight, and I think the gank fight for that fight is not that bad. Anyways, I'm not gonna get. We already discussed that at length. I'm not gonna get more into it. We're disgusted. I'm done with it.
Number 12 for me is Yorm.
Okay, I have Yorm a little bit higher, not terribly much higher, but I do have a little bit higher. What? Explain your reasoning.
I really like it's funny because it is just like a box, but like the pillars make it a really cool. His whole aesthetic, he's one of my favorite like aesthetic looking bosses. Like super cool. Really love like the huge like machete looking thing. Not machete. What's
It's a cleaver, I think.
cleaver?
Right?
Yeah, like the two-handed aspect of that. I love that you can bring in Sigurd. Like if you
Sigurd's that's a great addition to the fight.
if you've done like that, his whole lore behind that they were friends and stuff like that, like that's super cool. I really like that. Too easy. I mean, again with like a gimmick, like that's like the only reason that he wouldn't be higher. I like his second phase. I like, I feel like the timing of his moves is very solid. Like it's very, very well thought out. I just feel like it's just a little bit too easy because it is supposed to be. I mean, like, understandably so. He's a giant. If you like, I've tried to fight him just like normal, and I've almost done it. Like,
didn't you succeed one time?
I have succeeded actually. I forgot. Yeah, I told you that earlier. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I have succeeded. Like, fighting him like on like just regular, and like that's totally fine. And I get like the whole like storm ruler thing, and like that's super cool. It's just not really hard enough.
That's fair. I think he's not the most difficult of this kind of fight. I think that's Rykard from Elden Ring, who's a boss that I love, by the way. So all you people that think that it's the big snake guy that you fight in Volcano Manor, or after the Volcano Manor section. So all you people that think I hate Elden Ring, there you go. I love Rykard.
I think that's like one of their least favorite fights.
And
you
know what? Fine. My favorite fight in the game is Renala, so y'all probably hate me anyways.
Really?
But, yeah, I love Renala.
Whoa.
In spite of her first phase. Her first phase is fine. I don't hate her first phase, but I love her second phase so much that it kind of.
Wow, I would definitely disagree with that. That's crazy.
I mean, who's your favorite fight? Malekith?
No, actually Melania.
Oh, she's like middle of the road for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's just because for me, like, quality of bosses in Elden Ring is hard to come by. Malekith is cool. I think for me, for whatever reason, like, he wasn't that hard when I fought him. I need to like replay it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because like I watch other people playing him. I'm like, I don't know how I was.
There was just two things that he would do that would piss me off. One, when he was jumping into the air, and all of a sudden
just
he would
do the spin thing.
Spin thing that would just
yeah. You're like,
hit you
all right,
immediately.
that's fine.
That one, and also the thing where he'd stab the sword into the ground, and all of a sudden the anime slashes would go. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No,
But
I put Millennia just because like it's the same thing with like Orphan. Like the idea of like something being so difficult, like the amount of accomplishment that you feel afterwards, it's one of those like weird bias things.
That's fair. We can do an Elden Ring video at some point as well if we wanted to.
That'd be fun. Yeah. We'd be here for 5 hours, but
we would do main bosses. We wouldn't do every single boss in the game because that would just be ridiculous. But
that's what I say for Yorm.
Yorm, okay, Yorm for me. I mean, again, I like a good spectacle fight. I remember online people would like describe Yorm as like a Zelda type boss fight, just because of the way that he's structured. And I'm like, you know what? I like that comparison. I think Zelda's got good boss fights. I'm not a huge Zelda fan, but I enjoy the series. I know you love Zelda. I get it. But the games I have played of Zelda, I do like a lot of the boss fights I've fought against. They do a good job with that. And I think Yorm falls into that realm of he's not super challenging, but I think he's challenging enough where if you're not careful, he can wreck your face in. Absolutely. I just like the idea that they brought back the Storm Ruler from Demon Souls. That's just a fun little like Easter egg from Demon Souls in there. And I think Yorm, his design is super cool. The fact that he's a lord is a neat thing. It's like, oh, this massive lord is what I have to go up against. And then obviously you brought up Sigurd, which was a great. I didn't even think about that when I was starting this. Maybe I have him too high, but just for my personal enjoyment, I just really enjoy fighting Yorm.
So like again, like I definitely enjoy fighting Yorm. Like every time that I come up to him, like the capital, like the profane capital, like that's already cool. And he did just come out of like one of the worst areas.
Oh, don't even get me started on the Irothil dungeon.
And so like it's a cool, like it makes it worth going through all of
absolutely.
that.
I would agree.
So
that's
what I say.
Yorm was good. I like Yorm. So does Bryce. Oh yeah, my number 11 is Nameless King. I know it's a little bit low for some people. I have my reasons for why Nameless King is so low. But we'll get to that when we get the Nameless King for Bryce. But Nameless King is number 11.
Okay, so number 11 for me is Champion Gundyr.
Okay, I mean he's not that far off for me either. So yeah. Anything you want to say about Champion Gundyr?
Just a better version of Udex, honestly. Like it's just like the intensity of the fight, seeing like the lore of seeing him as, you know, his original self is like that's really cool. I like the whole side quest aspect. And you just came from Osiris, so you just had like a fairly bland fight, in my opinion, very forgettable. And then you get to
he's much better than Osiris. We're not gonna get
no, for sure. And that, but so that's what I'm saying is like that is my. I honestly don't have like that many reasons. It's like it's just a good solid fight. Like it's something where, you know, not parrying. Dodge timing is really really good.
You can't parry him.
I can't parry.
I don't know how to do it, but you can parry.
No parry allowed here.
I can't parry. We'll get to there's one boss fight when I'm going to talk about parrying in this game.
No, I honestly don't have much to say for Champion Gundyr. Like I just think that overall I really like his fight. I think that it's cool that he doesn't split into like a different monster like in his Udex form. I like the fact that you just fight him. It's just a large humanoid, and I'm always a bigger fan of those fights than the big beast fights. That's kind of like what I like, and so I think that he does everything well. It's just not as good as others.
That's perfectly fair. Spoiler alert for my list, I actually have Udex above Champion on my list.
Totally fair.
And I biggest reason is I like the fact that he's a tutorial boss fight that's really, really good. And I actually like the splitting into the beast section of Udex.
And I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying that
I actually prefer that to the fact that you just fight Champion Gundyr the straight all the way through. And I'm not a huge fan personally of repeat bosses. But in cases like Gundyr and in cases like Morgott from Elden Ring, I think it's fine because the lore reasons work for the actual circumstance.
I also think that it's good because you can they're different enough. It's not just a reskin, it's retooling the entire system. Like Champion Gundyr is so much faster, he's like he hits so much harder, like he's got varied moves and stuff like that. Whereas like Udex is supposed to be that, you know, introduction. He has like the different second phase and like all that.
Well, the duality I like there is the fact that you can see Gundyr when he was like in his prime.
Exactly.
That's exactly what Champion's supposed to be. It's oh, you're fighting the dude.
The guy.
Yeah, you're fighting the guy. It's kind of like if you were fighting Artorias in his prime, which I'm pretty sure Artorias would wreck everybody in his prime. But
I don't know how he couldn't.
I mean, you're fighting.
How do you fight that?
You're fighting him with one arm when he has one arm, and he still kicks your face in. So I don't. Yeah.
Very much so.
So I'd actually love to see what Artorias is like in his prime. That would be super sick. But I understand why we don't get that. Because
do we think who could beat him?
Boss wise?
Yeah.
Millennia.
You think Millennia could?
Yeah. Millennia's ridiculous.
I don't think so.
You don't think Millennia could beat Artorias?
No.
Maybe. I mean, we have to see what Artorias was like, I guess. But Artorias is great.
I would love to see a fight between Gale and Artorias.
Dude, that would be sick.
Jumping all around the entire arena. They wouldn't even hit each other. It'd be like an anime fight, just going straight next to each other.
Yeah,
just like
Artorias in his prime versus Gale would be so good. I would love to actually see that. From Software?
Make it happen.
We need to I know it probably is not going to profit you anything, but we need it to happen.
Give it a $5 DLC. I can guarantee you people would buy that.
Bank.
So much money.
We don't even have to fight them. Just let me watch it.
I just want to watch. Can I have a seat, please? I'll just give me a free roam cam. That's all I want.
Put it in theaters.
Yeah, I just want a free roam cam. Give me that so I can just get all the angles.
Yeah, that would be actually amazing.
I'm sure somebody on YouTube has made that.
But the thing is, like, it would be Artorias when he's weaker in Dark Souls 1. That's the problem.
That's true. So
that's why I want a Artorias like at his peak versus Gale at his peak would be great. But anyways, more about Gundyr. I actually don't really have much more to say about Gundyr. He's a great fight. Only thing I hate is his stupid charge. That charge attack is stupid. I know you can parry it, but I can't parry worth crap. So that's a moot point for me.
I got nothing to say about that. That shoulder, the shoulder.
The shoulder charge is ridiculous.
I don't know how you're supposed to dodge that. You have to try and block it or something, but
Yeah, I mean, you can dodge it, but it's not easy.
not easy.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, it's not as bad as Osiris's dodge.
nothing is.
That's true. But
The top 10. Wow, that sounds so cheesy. How do people do this for a living? You know what I mean? Like, they're like, what's up, gamers? Now I'm going to do our top 10.
I'm leaving the whole thing in, I hope you know.
Sure hope so.
So the top 10. My number 10 is Champion Gwyndere, so
Okay.
there you go. So it's just one off of yours, but
So my number 10 is Aldrich.
wow, that's higher than I put him by quite a few. What? Why, though?
I think this is a little bit more of area bias and a little bit more of like nostalgia, if that makes sense. Being in the same, like, I'm not the hugest fan of like Ornstein and Smo from Dark Souls 1. Like, that's not really my favorite fight or anything like that.
Not, I mean, I like him, but not my favorite fight in Dark Souls 1 either.
But the idea that you're in there, you've just like the grandeur of like you come up and then like you take the the rotating staircase up, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, that's where I'm at.
We back here now.
Yeah, exactly. So like that for me is why like I think it gets bumped up.
Yeah.
The fight itself, it's okay. It's good. Like I like it. It annoys me with how much he teleports. Being a strength build, having to get up right next to his nasty worm body. Like,
I do love his design. His design is so funny.
It's so gross. But like, seeing Gwendolyn like as like the helm and stuff like that and stuff, it's just like it's a lot of I get it, it's fan service, whatever. I think it's a cool idea, and his whole lore of like, they cast him out because he was eating people. Like, he was eating lords, and so they're like, yeah, you're pretty strong, we'll make you a lord. Like, I feel like that's pretty, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool. And so
I love his lore.
I think that, like, I know that I just put, in the past 4, I've had 3 of the lord souls, but I just feel like he's a good fight. Definitely some things that are really annoying, those, purple balls that come up, the arrows, obviously, like, I totally get it, but there's just something about being in that arena in Anor Londo and seeing Gwendolyn and all of those different things, I think is really cool.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think the spectacle of returning to Anor Londo is really cool. I mean,
really carries the fight, I will say.
It really does. But for me, it's a little bit lessened because I played Dark Souls 3 first, which
totally makes sense.
Was a mistake. I will 100%. I will own up to that mistake because we'll get to when we get to Soul of Cinder. I'll explain another reason why that was a mistake. But like when I first got to Anor Londo, I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know. I never heard of Anor Londo in my life when I got to that point. So I was like, okay, we're at this place called Anor Londo. Cool, I guess. And then I fought Aldrich. We left, and then I went to Anor Londo in Dark Souls 1, and I was like, wait, hold up. I've heard of this place before. Went back to Dark Souls 3, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I was actually able to explore Anor Londo after I went to it in Dark Souls 1, and I was like, oh, this is actually really neat. Except you can't go deeper into the castle because they block that off because they're a bunch of jerks. But being able to go to like where the giant blacksmith used to be, being able to like look around.
So sad.
Oh, I feel so sad. Whenever I see his body, I'm like, no, my friend. But I don't know. It's a, again, you said it. The area carries the fight a lot. I just think his fight's decent, but not great. So it's just kind of middle of the road for me with Aldrich. His lore's amazing, but his fight is just whatever. I agree with you. He teleports way too much. Not as bad as Crystal Sage, I don't think, but he's still not great in terms of that fact. But
no, and like I said, like the area itself really carries this fight a lot higher for me. So.
So number 9 for me, Demon Princes.
Number 9 for me is Dragon Slayer armor.
Wow, that's much higher than I put it in.
Really like the humanoid fight. It's strength on strength. Again, I love my strength builds. And so it's something where you're just going toe to toe with another knight. It's just so, like, it's exhilarating. It's epic. There's these fireballs with these, massive dead butterflies next to you. You're on the top of a bridge. He's got lightning coming down. He's got a massive shield. He's got, like, his axe and stuff like that. Just really, really like the fight. Aesthetically, the moves feel very, very solid. They're very nice to, like, dodge around and stuff like that. I do understand, like, where you're coming from about, like, turtling and stuff like that. Totally get that. For me, though, it's the good far outweighs the bad for that.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. For my Dragon Slayer armor, whenever I fight him, aside from like 1 or 2 moves, nothing wows me about his fight.
Okay.
I get into his fight and I fight him and I kill him and I'm like, okay, it was a good time. I enjoyed the time I had with this boss fight. But after that, I just kind of move on. He feels weird. He feels like an oddly placed boss. He's like a midway point in Lothric Castle between.
I will definitely agree with that.
Yeah, he's like, because you have the main part of Lothric Castle and then you have his fight and then you have Grand Archives and it's like, what was the point of his fight being there? It was just kind of like, oh, we need something in the middle here. Well, this is fine, I think. I don't know, but it's a fun fight. I will.
I think that they made that sound when they made him.
They were like, "Hey, boss, we made this guy. He's kind of a cool idea. But
I don't know where to put him.
I got it.
I got it.
I know exactly where to put him.
Gotta go right there.
Does it feel weird?
You mean like that bridge? We were just gonna have some like butterflies. Oh, the butterfly. Keep them in.
Add those in.
Keep them in. Make sure that they spam Fireball. PK Fire. That's all that they have. They just have PK Fire.
Anything more you want to say about that?
No. He's just a really, overall, very, very solid fight.
Okay. Fair enough.
I would say my top 10, fairly solid in what I think, but overall, just great fights.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
there's not too much in between them.
Hey, that's perfectly
Except
fair.
for like my top 3. My top
well,
3.
the top 3 or the top 3, yeah. Mine's more like the top 4, but okay. My number 8 is Yorm.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your number? Oh no, you're starting to smile, and I don't like that smile with your number 8. What's your number 8?
Pontiff Sullivan.
Okay, there we go.
All right, Jared.
Solid 10 places between me and you putting Pontiff on our lists. Please go ahead and roast me.
It's not so much a roast. I mean, just overall, like, again, it's got the church aesthetic, which I already talked about. Yeah. Like, has that gothic aesthetic. I really enjoy that. I like his design. The idea of like a dual fight, but it's somebody that you can kill, like his shadow and stuff like that. Not shadow. What's the word? Clone.
I mean, shadow. He's basically a shadow. Let's be real here. Even though he attacks first.
He attacks first, yeah.
Which is.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know. But that whole idea of his clone, and you talk about Dancer having more of a dance, right? I think that Pontiff is more of a dance for my build. I feel like it's very like give and take. It's very much a good indication of like where you're at, skill check wise. Mm-hmm. Definitely my favorite in like the Irithyll Valley. Like just something about the music, the venue, the actual fight itself. Really, really like that. I like his moves. Some of them are very cheap. I will give you that. Like the fact that he has like a 40 hit combo, it feels like sometimes, where he just kind of
combo's ridiculous.
Like I can totally get that, but for me, it's just something I really like his fight. The mechanics are very solid. It feels fair in my opinion. It's something to where you're able to move through the fight, and it's every single time it's like a give and take.
Yeah, and I understand why people love Sullivan. I 100% understand. I wanted to love Sullivan when I first played the game.
I wanted to love this.
Really did. I was like, because I first killed him, and funny story, first 2 times, I mentioned this to you, but first 2 times I played Dark Souls 2 or 3, both times I killed Sullivan, he killed me at the exact same time. Just for some reason, we both took each other out. I don't know how it happened twice in a row, but it did. So that was an interesting fact. But I really like, my first play Dark Souls 3, I was like, okay, Sullivan wasn't too bad. And then on repeat playthroughs, Sullivan just got worse and worse for me. Where I was just like, gosh, this guy is frustrating. And not in the good ways. Like his combos, I don't hate his combos. They're really long, admittedly. But what I hate more than his combos are his quick attacks.
Oh, yeah.
One in particular, he has, because the way he holds his swords, he has this like one sword crossed around his chest while he holds the other one down. He'll just randomly, when you're standing next to him, just extend his arm and go, and just hit you with his sword in like 0.1 seconds. And it's like, how the heck was I supposed to see that coming? And then when you get hit by that, he'll be like, oh, actually, I'm going to do a combo on you now. And so he'll just combo your butt. And because you're panicking because you just got hit, you're like, and then you just die. And I'm just like, Sullivan? Can you not? Like, for 2 seconds? Can you not? Please.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually don't mind his second phase as much.
I'd agree, yeah.
Just because his second phase is slower.
Okay.
It's a little bit slower, which is like, okay, I don't mind that. But I think he's just a little bit too fast in some of his combos. Maybe this is a hot take. His design doesn't excite me at all.
Wow.
I mean, his swords look cool. I'll give it to you. His swords look sick. But his like his clothing and like, what is he wearing on his head? Like some like
the crown.
Is it a crown?
Yeah, it's a crown.
Nothing about it really is that interesting to me personally. And also, I will give you this. I'd probably like it more if I could parry. But I'll parry in Bloodborne. I'll parry in Sekiro. Dark Souls, I don't get it. I don't understand how parrying works. I don't think I ever will. It's just something that I have to deal with as a person. And so maybe one day I'll learn how to parry and maybe Sullivan will jump up on my list. But at least for now, I think he's just stupid.
That's all right. I mean,
I don't hate him. I don't hate Sullivan.
No.
He's not the worst on my list by any means, but he's not one that I love.
Yeah, and I think that for me, that's like, it's the same feeling as like Abyss Watchers for me. I want to love Abyss Watchers, right? Like I want them to be higher on my list because other people have them as like, some people have them in the top 3, number 1, like, you know what I mean? Like, stay tuned, I guess. But I want that. But like with Pontiff, I really love his lore. I don't love his lore because he's like a really bad guy, but like
so is most of.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's the one who forces Dancer and Vort to go out and, is the one who, like, enslaves her and all that. Yeah. Thanks, Vati. But, like, it's no shot
Vati,
that I would have
Vati, why did you ruin my games for me?
No possibility that I would have ever figured that out.
Yeah, Vati's great. I love
but,
Vati.
no, I that's crazy that you like Dancer's aesthetic more than Pontiff.
Yeah, I do.
I definitely disagree with that.
I know I'm wrong. I understand that I'm wrong.
I'm not saying that you're like.
No, I'm just.
I mean, like other people might agree with you though.
I'm just like but having a little bit of fun with it. But I understand that a lot of people probably think Pontiff is way cooler. And I've seen like silhouettes of Pontiff on like t-shirts where he looks sick.
I mean,
yeah. And I'm just like, dang, that looks cool. But whenever I'm fighting him in game, I'm like, I'm kind of underwhelmed by how he looks. So
he does have a little bit too skinny of a face, I will say. Like his helmet's like
it does look kind of odd, doesn't it?
It's like he's a little squirmy guy. Little thin. We got Fatso with Vort, and then we got little. then we got like lanky girl with Dancer, and then like we got even like Shrimpy Man with Pontiff.
Yes, so that's definitely a thing. All right, fine. My number 7 is Gundyr, Udex Gundyr, the tutorial boss fight.
My number 7 is Twin Princes.
Oh wow, okay, that's pretty close to. Not pretty close. It's where did I put Twin Princes? 14.
You put them pretty low.
14? Yeah, I put them at 14.
Yeah, so I'm like that's pretty low.
That's pretty low. Yours. Yeah. I forgot how low I put them, but I have my reasons for why. What do you like about Twin Princes?
I think you talk about like a gank fight done right. I think this is one because it's basically the same person.
Is it a gank fight though?
It kind of is because he can resurrect him.
Yeah, I guess, but
so like I think it's something where it's different enough. The teleporting is really nice. There's enough telegraphing in the moves that are being made that you can actually dodge and be able to get your hits in and stuff. Overall I feel like it's a really solid fight. It's definitely the most solid fight for any of the lords. I really like the lore. I'm a big lore person. Like
Yeah, that's fine.
the actual like story behind it really means a lot. I think that the overall aesthetic of the fight is pretty cool. I really like what's his name?
Which one? The younger brother, or the older brother?
Older brother.
That's Lorien.
Lorien.
Lothric is the younger brother because he's the one that's the
Right.
Yeah.
He's the actual guy.
Yeah.
So I really like Lorien's aesthetic. Really, really cool. It's a cool fight. I think very cinematic. Very good way to kind of encapsulate everything that has happened up till that point. Really like the area that comes before it, and then just overall, I feel like it's a very solid fight. It's something where you can enjoy what you're doing, and it's not too unfair. If that makes sense. There are definitely unfair spots, which that's okay.
Of their boss fight or of the Grand Archives?
No, of their boss fight.
Other boss fight. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Grand Archives also, but like that's all I gotta say about it. I don't really have much to say. Like the funny part is, as we get higher up, I feel like I have less to say because overall it's just like a positive experience.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's more praising and less of complaining. They're middle of my list. I don't have a ton to say about them either. It's just like I like the teleporting. Like the dodging on the teleporting attacks is actually kind of neat. Trying to get the timing of it down. The idea of having to kill Lothric on the back of Lorien when you're attacking them is an interesting little thing where it's like, oh, okay, I'm not trying to focus the older brother anymore. This time I'm trying to get rid of the younger one on his back. That's kind of interesting. I like that. But at least for me, I don't know. I just don't get excited when I fight them. I just fight them and I'm like, okay, neat, we're done. And then I move on and I kind of forget about them. They're not the most memorable for me, even though they're one of the lords, but they're the least memorable of the lords for me, which is interesting for me to say. But
I think I could also understand that because it's so late into the game. You're kind of just like, isn't it just this and then Soul of Cinder, right?
In terms of mandatory bosses, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so like I can definitely understand that because you're getting towards the end of the game and you're saying, okay, just get me to the end.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of like a skip between. So I can definitely understand that, but I just think that looking at them in isolation, they do really, really.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Twin Princes, we both like it. You like it more than me, but I like things more than you. You like things more than me. It's just the natural order of things. My number 6, I know you had it a little bit lower, Dancer of the Boreal Valley. I love Dancer. I've mentioned it already. I just love her fight. For the same reasons it seems like you love Pontiff, and that's perfectly fine. What's your number 6?
Kind of interesting that we have the same ideas for different bosses that are interlinked lore-wise.
It is interesting, actually. I didn't think about that.
I think it's got to be something to do with like you being a dexterity build usually,
maybe,
and me being a strength build.
Maybe
it's like a mirror of yourself because Dancer very much is.
Oh, she's a dex build. 100%.
A dex build, and so like that idea, it's interesting to think because like Pontiff is very much a strength build.
Yeah.
Even though he has 2 swords, but like
and a bajillion hits in his combos, but no, his swords are definitely strength swords.
Yeah, so like I think that's super. I just find that interesting.
Yeah.
Number 6, Demon Princes. No, I'm not gonna do that. Demon Princes.
The Demon Princes. Might I having 9? Yeah, I having 9. Yeah, I like Demon Princes. Yeah, they're a great gank fight. I just
best. Were
you about to say best in the series?
Yeah. Who would I put above them?
I put ONS above them personally.
Definitely not.
I love ONS. Not as much as some other bosses in the series, but I like ONS a lot.
I would say that they're my Demon Princes are my favorite gank fight in the entire series. It feels balanced. It feels. I like the idea that they brought back from ONS of, killing one in front of the other, and that changes how the fight goes. Yeah. Like I really like that.
Which they bring back with Demon Princes to an extent.
Which they did. That's what I'm saying. It's like they brought that back. So like I can't knock Ornstein Smo because it's like they pioneered a lot of the stuff that gets reused now. But I just think that Demon Princes, they like in the it's kind of weird because they don't really mean much. It kind of feels like lore wise or whatever. Like,
I mean, do they even have lore?
that's what I'm saying. Is like I'm not even sure if they do, but
I mean, I'm sure they do, but I don't know what the heck it is, or if it has any kind of semblance on or bearing on any part of the plot.
that's what I'm saying. Is and that means that the fight has to be really good because like Aldrich, an okay fight, but the lore really helps it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Pontiff, pretty good fight. Lore really helps it. And so for Demon Princess to be so high up, it has to be like a really good fight because you don't have any of those ties. And so I think I'm not a big fan of like big boss fights, or not big beast fights.
Yeah.
But I think that Demon Princess is one where they aggro at the correct amount of times. There's some times where they're both on you, and then there's like some times where one's off, one's on. I think that that's really, really cool. And
yeah.
I think that the arena looks really cool. I understand that it's just like this massive circle, whatever. It's cool. I like the toxic aspect of it. And
I think the arena, in a gank fight specifically, I think the arena being a little bit bland is okay as long as you have a decent way of breaking aggro with bosses.
For sure.
Which I think Demon Prince does a good job of, having one be passive while the other one's active.
Yes.
So I think that's, even though the arena is nothing special, like I said, it is a circle, but I think it is good that there is a way to keep them both from just getting on top of you all the time. Because to mention a boss fight in Dark Souls 2, I know you haven't played that yet, but the second to last boss in like the main game is called Thornwatcher and Defender. And they're very much like ONS in that one of them is a little bit slower, one of them's quick, but they're not that different in terms of speed. But the arena is just a square. There's nothing in the arena, and it's frustrating to fight them because if you attack one, you're most likely going to get nailed by the other one because there's nothing to break aggro.
I was gonna say, like, that's the same problem with like Godskin Duo. Like,
Yeah,
there's not enough of a difference in their speed that makes it to where you can. And the arena's too small. That's why like I love Demon Princess, because it feels big enough, but not like way too big, but it's not too small. I think that like it's better that it's bigger than it needs to be, if that makes sense.
Back to Godskin Duo for a second, though. I mean, the arena's fine because there is pillars, which is nice that there's pillars in the Godskin Duo boss fight. It's not enough.
No.
It's not enough, mostly because Godskin Noble is the reincarnation of the devil, I think.
The cinnamon roll.
Oh gosh, that stupid roll.
Rolling, I'm rolling, and I'm rolling, and still rolling, and rolling, and rolling, and rolling, and rolling, and rolling,
He
and
doesn't
rolling,
stop
and
till he
rolling, and
hits
rolling.
you. I mean, he does stop eventually, but it doesn't matter that he stops eventually because it takes so long for him to stop that he's going to hit you eventually anyway.
And then he pops up in the air, and you're like, okay, he's done. And then he just keeps going.
Yep, and then, anyways, God.
Sorry to bring that up again.
Forget that fight. Oh my land, jeez.
But anyways, Demon Princess.
Demon Princess, great fight. One of the finest gank fights in the entire series. And if it weren't for the fact that there's two other bosses that are just better in that DLC, it'd be a contender for best fight in that DLC.
Yeah,
it's unfair that there's Midir and Gale in that same DLC.
I mean, really came out swinging for that, that final DLC.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, Half-Light's like the one stumble there, but oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Demon Princess don't have a lot to say about it. More to say about it. Just a great fight. Am I number 5 now?
Top five. Top 5.
All right, I will say this. My top 5 are all just quality bosses.
For sure.
100% quality bosses. I love all 5 of them almost equally, but there's just some discrepancies between them. And I say that because number 5 for me is Soul of Cinder. What's your number 5?
Sister Frida.
Sister Frida. Okay, that's a decent place for Sister Frida. She's a little bit higher for me, but I love Sister Frida. You know this, but anyone who knows me and my video game taste knows I love Bloodborne. It's my favorite in the Soul series. And Lady Maria is my favorite boss fight in the entire series. I adore that fight.
Weeb.
I know, I'm a big weeb. I know.
Little anime waifu.
My anime waifu right there, even though she's not an anime character. But, she might as well be, to be honest with you. So, I love Bloodborne. I love Lady Maria. And Sister Frida, she reminds me of Lady Maria in the best ways. She's obviously very much inspired by Lady Maria, particularly that last phase. You have the fight. You have the move where she lifts up in the air. That's basically the exact same move Lady Maria has, and there's a bunch of other things that's inspired by Lady Maria in that fight. But she's also differentiated in ways that I find to be different enough and also very interesting. One, her choice of weapon, very different. Lady Maria has the Rakuyo, the twin swords, and then Sister Frida has a scythe. The only real knock I have against Sister Frida is that her fight is so tedious. Her first phase is fine. It's a little bit slow because she jumps around a lot and it's kind of hard to hit her. But it's acceptable. Her second phase, though, is kind of a slog to get through because it's either like really easy because you're just going to slice up Father Ariandel, or you're going to have to keep dealing with Sister Fried freezing you through the entire fight, and you have to keep running away from them in order to heal, and it's just a big slog. And then her third phase, which is the best phase in the entire fight, you finally get to it, and you're drained of resources because of the second phase, and you're like, son of a gun, are you kidding me? So you try doing the fight, and you die to her, and you're like, oh, I have to do that whole thing again. And I mentioned this before, earlier today, where I was like, Sekiro's final boss fight has 4 phases, and I think it's less tedious to get to that final phase than it is for Sister Frida, which is interesting because there's 1 extra phase in the fight, but there it is. I don't know. I just think Sister Frida, as amazing as she is, and as much as I love her, honey, you have too many phases. Please just take a chill pill for me, please. But I love Sister Frida. She's one of the best fights in the game, and yeah, nothing. I mean, her moveset is just great. Her lore is really, really cool. Her design is really great. It's hard to like think of specific things that I absolutely love about this fight, like with a lot of the fights up here. But I just overall think she's great. So you have a number 5. I mean, that's still a respectable ranking for Sister Frida. What are your thoughts on Sister Frida?
I think, well, number 1, she got dock points for having her toes out. I don't like.
Oh, you don't like the feet?
No. I'm not a foot fetish man.
Neither am I, but
not to kink shame. You can do whatever you want, but like, not for me.
I will kink shame. Don't have a foot fetish. I'm just kidding. Again, I'm not. I really don't care what you're into. Just don't force me into it. And we'll be fine.
I think what you kind of talked about being tedious, it lasts a little bit too long, like the fight. I do like we just talked about like the anime aspect of it. You get through the 2 phases and you get the Titanite slab and you're like, whew, I did it.
I forgot you get the Titanite slab when you
you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. And then all of a sudden it's just, when 2 flames alighteth. And you're like, okay, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden she like resurrects and you're like, at like the first time that you see it and like you are drained of resources and you're like, no, that's not.
And I thought I was gonna hate it when I fought it the first time. I was like, oh, are you kidding me?
And then you're like, oh,
but then it's like,
this is a cool phase.
It's the best phase in the fight, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this now. It's just it's annoying to get to.
I think the overall look is cool. I really like Father Ariandel. I actually do like his contribution to the fight.
I like the second phase. It's just a little bit annoying.
I can definitely understand that, but like the overall aesthetic, the burning church, like all of that, like super cool. Like I think that the music is really, really epic. It's very impactful. And then just, her moveset is really cool. Like I said, the only boss weapon that I use for fun is her scythes. It's just her scythes because they're so fun and you use, your FP and you're able to like twirl around and stuff like that. So it's super cool. I really like her fight. It's just not as good as my 4 above it. It's a good fight. Like I like it way more. It's so difficult every single time I fight her. I think she might be the hardest boss for me, but I think that overall I just think that some others are better, but honestly very, very solid.
That's kind of how I feel about Soul of Cinder. We'll get to him in just a second, but I love Soul of Cinder. It's just the 4 fights above him are just better. It's kind of how you feel about not Lady Maria, Sister Frida.
I mean, that's
Freudian slip.
There's a reason why they get compared so much.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, so my number 4. I know you're not gonna be happy about my number 4. My number 4 is Slave Knight Gale. I know you love Gale.
We'll talk about him.
We'll talk about him pretty soon. And I know everyone loves him. I love him too, but not as much as the other ones. What's your number 4?
Number 4 for me is Dark Eater Madeir.
Dark Eater Madeir. All right. So spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil everything, but I love Madeir. Madeir is a freaking dragon, and anyone who knows me knows that I am a dragon simp, 100%.
Simp.
I'm a big simp for dragons. My favorite fight in Dark Souls 1 is Calameets. I wouldn't say the Elden Ring dragons disappoint me so much because Placidusax is cool.
Placid Sax.
Placid Sax.
Flaccid Sax.
Placid Sax. Whatever I called him the first time I fought.
Not my fault that they named him that, all right?
I don't know why they named him that. It
looks like Placid Sax.
It looks like
Flaccid Sax. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Mr.
More Elden Ring hate.
Yeah, more Elden Ring hate. I love Placid Sax though.
No, very good.
I love that fight. And like the first dragon encounter you have in Elden Ring, fantastic. Like the one in what's that?
Don't ask me.
Limgrave.
Limgrave.
That's the first area. The Limgrave Lake. I love that fight with the dragon in that lake.
Oh yeah, with like the NPCs that are the skeletons or whatever that are out there.
Love that fight. So it's such a neat encounter. Problem is that you repeat that encounter 6 more times in the game, and it's like
only 6.
I think it's only 6. I mean, maybe
definitely more.
Definitely more than 6. I don't remember how many times you repeat that fight. You repeat it too many times is my point. And I love dragons. But I don't want to fight the same dragon that many times. For sure. Which is a shame because a lot of them take a lot of their movesets from Madeir.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're just an easier version of Madeir until they get, stupidly hard because of how much damage they do. But I love Madeir. I mean, the only thing I don't love about Madeir is getting access to him. Fighting him on that bridge sucks. I will not defend that part of the fight. We have to fight him on the bridge and knock him down. But once you get him down there, his moveset for me is, in my opinion, near perfection. I know you have your issues with some of his attacks. And I have had moments where I'm just like, I don't know if that hitbox is 100% true, but for the most part, I think his hitboxes are fantastic. He's a beast boss. He's a massive beast boss that doesn't have his whole body as a hitbox. Because like he can run over you and you won't get hurt. It's like, oh, that's like never happened in this series before that I've ever seen. I just love his lore is cool. Nothing really to write home about, but his lore is cool. I don't know. I could gush about him for so long. I probably shouldn't because it's gonna get boring with me just rambling on about how much I love Madeir. But why do you have Madeir at 4?
So I have Madeir at 4 because I feel like he is the best big monster fight.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think
he's the best monster fight in the entire series.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I would agree with that. Like it's just I think this comes down to preference.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think for me, I'm not a big fan of like the large monsters. I really like the humanoid fights, and so like when it comes to Madeir, like I like his movement. It makes sense. It's something where everything kind of feels fair, even though he's so big, which I think is really cool. Like the health bar really gets to me sometimes, just because. But also like, hey, he's a dragon. Obviously, he's gonna have a large health bar.
Yeah,
that's just how it works. And so I think that overall, like it's a really good fight. It's a fight where you can really fight a dragon the way that you think that you should.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Except for, I mean, it's Dark Souls, so dodging through fire doesn't make sense.
That's true. I'll give you that.
It doesn't make sense, but you know what? It's a video game.
I do hate that. I do hate that fire attack where he just like blows fire like right by his.
I don't know why you have so much trouble with that attack.
I don't know why either.
Because we did the boss rush mod before we recorded this, and Bryce got hit by that attack
so many times.
About half the times that he used it, you got hit by it. Probably more than that.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't have the right strat for it. But like I really enjoy his fight though. I enjoy the arena. It's cool looking, aesthetically. He's very cool looking. I like the idea. You talked about the critical hit points around him. How his head takes more damage than like his legs and stuff. I do like that. I like the variability of that. Makes it so that you have to really focus on your attacks instead of just kind of like hitting wherever you want.
When hitting wherever you can hit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, like I could hit his legs like quite a bit, but that's not going to do a lot of damage, and with a health bar that big, I have to hit his head. So it plays more into having a more aggressive play style. It makes you more alert on what attacks he's doing because you can't just kind of sit there. So I think overall, masterful fight. It's just not my preference.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. To speak on that point a little bit, I mean, this will be a little more gushing from me, but like facing him head on, because again, you mentioned hitting his head does the most amount of damage, because that's. And if anyone here who's watching this video has ever had trouble fighting Madeir before, I implore you, try the head strat. Attack his head. Don't attack anywhere else. Dodge around his attacks. Attack his head whenever he lowers it. It's much, in my opinion, a much smoother way to play the fight. It can be harder because you have to dodge a lot of swipes. But once you get those like attacks down, it feels, to me, it feels satisfying as heck to fight Madeir. I love his fight. So my number 3, and I know this fight is above Gale. This fight's above Sullivan. This fight is above so many champion Gundyr. This fight is Yorm. Here's a fight. Demon Princess. It's above all these amazing boss fights. And I know some people are gonna be like, "What? Abyss Watchers is number 3."
Incorrect. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's over. You're wrong.
I know. Having it be above Gale is such a blasphemous thing for me to say, but I genuinely enjoy fighting Abyss Watchers more than I enjoy fighting Gale. Gale's a great fight, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but Abyss Watchers for me, I just love them. For some reason, I just love them. I don't know why. I just do. What's your number 3?
Number 3 for me is Nameless King.
Nameless King. I have him at 11.
I can't believe that.
And I know it feels weird having Abyss Watchers above Nameless of all people is a weird thing.
Flame this man in the comments.
Please do. Please flame me. Absolutely.
Charbroiled.
Absolutely. Give me a nice, good roasting. Make my buns just nice and toasty.
Okay. Well. Is that your kink? Is that what's
getting roasted in the comments?
Yeah.
I have a humiliation fetish, don't you know? Explain Nameless King. Why do you love Nameless King so much?
So I definitely understand, like, it has a slightly annoying first phase.
I'll definitely get into my complaints about Nameless King.
Like I totally think that's justified. I totally understand that, but I think that the second phase makes up for it in just the most major way possible. In the base game, I think that it probably has, even better than Soul of Cinder, I think it, like, that second phase has the best movement, has the best dance-like quality to it.
Okay.
I think that it's perfectly balanced in its... I think overall the fight is perfectly executed in how it flows from one phase to the next. I do think that the King of Storms is a cool phase because it still has the added benefit of Nameless on his back, and so you're not just worried about just like a peck or something like that from the King of Storms. You are having to work with with what is it called? You have to work around the lightning that comes from Nameless. You have to work around his swipes that come, so you can't just focus on the head. I think the fire attacks are cool. I think it's awesome that you can stagger him so that you're able to do a lot more damage in that first phase, and it feels a lot more manageable as you're going. And then you get to that second phase, the aesthetic of you're walking on the clouds, there's lightning, he's flying up in the air, and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. And then definitely has really nice, it's got off timing, very much similar to, I guess Godric reminds me of Nameless King, where the off timing and the off cadence blows that come make it so you have to really think about what you're doing. Godfrey in Elden Ring also does this, where he kind of hesitates just that little bit. And I think Nameless King, like, you've been fighting the same way this entire time, and then all of a sudden you're having to reinvent it, if that makes sense. You have to reinvent your playing style, and I really like that. It's something that's fresh, especially so late in the game. And so I think overall, with the aesthetic, the fight, the challenge that comes with it, very, very difficult. And, you know, having to get through that first phase and everything, I think overall just top 3.
Okay. And again, I agree with everything pretty much about the second phase. Yes. But that first phase, man, if that first phase did not exist for Nameless, he'd probably be top 5. Not even kidding you. I actually really like that second phase. That first phase is such a slog to get through. It's not that it's hard, because usually it's not. It's just tedious, because you have to deal with him flying around in circles, which means you have to like lock onto him and make sure he's not going to shoot you with a little lightning bolt. So you have to dodge the lightning bolt out of the way, and then he flies away from you, drops fire onto the ground, which is really hard to avoid if you're not like running at the exact frame he jumps up in the air. Whenever you're trying to hit the head when he's on the ground, you have to deal with Nameless potentially slapping you with his spear, which is really hard to see because he's above you and the dragon head's right here. And it's
I feel like the camera is the hardest part. Kind of like, who's that in Bloodborne? Parl. Yeah. Kind of like Parl in Bloodborne. Parl's not hard, right? But the camera really becomes the enemy. Yeah. And I feel like the King of Storms kind of has that same sort of issue where like Nameless is out of frame basically, and you're like,
and I'm not sure what you would do to fix that. Like,
I don't think you could.
I'm not sure if you really could fix that unless like you massively overhaul how the camera worked in Dark Souls, which would ruin a lot of the rest of the game. But it's just that first phase, man. It wouldn't be so bad if you did the first phase once and you get back into the fight, and it's never going to happen in a Souls game, but if you do the first phase, you get back into the fight, the first phase is already over, and you're starting the second phase. That wouldn't be too bad. I think the first phase is a little bit harder, so I have like a justifiable reason to not have to do it again after I get to the second phase. But I just, like, as much as I love that second phase from Nameless, I can't overlook how much I hate the King of Storms. Because the King of Storms, if we're going to rank these separately from each other, King of Storms, 18th to 20th out of 26. Nameless is like 5 or 4 or 5.
I would agree with that. I would probably put Nameless still like.
Yeah.
I mean,
he would contend with my ranking of Gale and Cinder.
I think my idea behind putting him up so high is that the second phase fight is so good that the first phase is worth it. And
most people agree with you on that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you go online, people talk about Nameless King. He is lauded for being an incredible boss fight. And that lore, him being Gwyn's firstborn, is such a cool concept. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But even people online adore the Nameless King. And I can see why. I 100% understand why. But that first phase, man, I keep coming back to the King of Storms because I hate that fight. And I love dragons, as I mentioned, but that dragon fight sucks. When a dragon fight's done wrong, I have a visceral hatred for it, which is what happens with that fight, unfortunately. So Nameless King, great fight. For me, marred by some stuff, but I know you love it, so understandable. All right, number 2, I believe, right? My number 2 is Sister Frida. I love Sister Frida. I mean, I already mentioned this, but yeah,
it's fairly easy.
Oh, no. Oh, of course. I don't know how the heck did I...
my number 2 is Soul of Cinder.
Yeah, and understandable. Soul of Cinder is fantastic.
I named my cat after this.
Literally, he did. So his cat's name is Cinder.
Her actual name on her collar is Soul of Cinder.
Is it really?
It actually is Soul of Cinder. But everywhere else, she's just Cinder, and we just call her Cinder. But she is Cinder because of this.
Yeah. Great fight. Soul Cinder is, and we'll get into the reasons why in just a moment, but yeah, I could gush for a long time about Soul Cinder, and what a great idea Soul Cinder was as a final boss fight.
The mere, I can't describe the feeling that I had as I was playing it. You know, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I
was on the phone with you when you were fighting Soul Cinder for the first time, and that was a great conversation.
Yeah, man. Because I'm fighting him. I'm like, this is so cool. He's changing up his fighting style. I'm fighting. I love the humanoids. I've talked about. So I'm getting to see all of these different fighting styles, and I get to see like all this different stuff. His armor looks sick. The arena, it's got like the the red eclipse going on. Like everything about it is so cool.
He's the cover, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, he's the one who's on the cover. Yeah. And so like all of that's cool, and then you get to his second phase, and you're like, it's weird because like you go all the way through his health bar, and you're like, whoa, okay,
that
like,
was the final boss.
That was kind of weird, and then like he like embers basically, and then becomes Gwyn, and you're like, oh, okay, and then like you're fighting, and then like the music drops out, and you get Gwyn's theme, and I like it hit me. I was like, whoa.
I remember your because I had played at this point. I had played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 3, and so I knew that Soul Cinder turned into Gwyn. And so when you were playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time, we were on the phone, and I was like, oh man, I'm so excited for his reaction when he sees what happens in that second phase. And I still remember when you got to that phase, you were like, it took you a second, but then you were like, bro, it's Gwyn. Like, that's so cool.
Like the idea, like the mere thought of like, oh hey, this is gonna be the last one in the Dark Souls series. This is like the culmination of everything, like for the base game and stuff.
Yeah.
And like just everything that you could possibly want in a fight. It's got, the drama, the lore, the variability. Each time that you face him, he can focus on something different. One time he'll like all of a sudden just be a sorcerer for half the fight, and you're like, okay, that's cool, like thanks for shooting me. But like then the other times you're going hand to hand with him, and he's swapping what weapons he's using mid fight. You're like, mid combo, you're like, okay, cool. Like there's so many amazing aspects to this fight, like
100%.
really, really hard to find a flaw.
Oh yeah, the biggest reason why I have Cinder lower than the rest of them, one, because the other bosses are just fantastic, but I made the mistake of playing Dark Souls 3 first.
Yeah.
And so I got to Soul of Cinder. He's still a cool fight. I really enjoyed him. I didn't get that emotional gut punch when he turned into Gwyn. I didn't know who Gwyn was at the time. Yeah. I mean, I think I might have heard his name, but I didn't know. I hadn't played Dark Souls 1 yet. I hadn't fought Gwyn. So I got to that fight, and I was like, okay, that was a really enjoyable fight. And then I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time. Got to Gwyn, and I was like, okay, this is a great fight. I love Gwyn. Then I played Dark Souls 3 again, and I was like, oh, I get it now. and I wish I would have had that experience for the first time. Right, and if that might have bumped him up a spot or two for me, if I'd have had the experience that you had of being like, oh my gosh, that's an incredible moments in this, for like seeing this for the first time.
The amount of impact, like music has a massive impact on my life, and so the music that comes with bosses, I mean, like Deacons of the Deep, like moved up like 6 spots or whatever because of music. Like I put Old Monk from Demon Souls higher because of the music, you know what I mean? Like it makes such a massive part, and so tying in that theme, with the fight, and it gets so somber, and like you really understand like what's about to happen, like as you're finishing, you're like, oh hey, like I'm really like, especially if you're doing like the usurpation of fire ending, where that like you're about to like take over this fire and like lead an undead legion and stuff like that, like or even like you're going to, whatever ending you choose, that this is the last piece. It's like it's the best, like it's one of the best final bosses in what it means for the series.
Mm-hmm. It was the best choice they could have made,
for sure.
I think for this entire series. It's I think it's fitting that I mean, I know you're probably aware of the God Run, or like the Dark Souls trilogy runs. Like, is that God Run? So I've talked about no hit before. Dark Souls no hit. The God Run was a concept. Well, first is the trilogy run, where a guy named Happy Hob went through all 3 Dark Souls games in a row, no hit.
Jeez, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it took him 12 months, I think, to finally get that run when he started it.
That's absolute insanity.
Yeah, and the same guy, Happy Hob, he did the entire series. He did Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 through 3, and Bloodborne, all before Sekiro released. So he did all 5 of those in a row, no hit, and thankfully, it was either the trilogy or it was the God Run, one of the two, where he ended it on Soul of Cinder, and it was just like, oh, that feels, because the way he would do it, he would like, if he would vary which game went first, or like which, like the order of the games, because if you'd had to do the same thing over and over again, it would get tedious. But on the time he got it, on one of those two, I know one of them was Gwyn, one of them was Soul of Cinder, but the Soul of Cinder one was like, yeah, that feels right. To finish this thing off on that boss is just a great idea. Not much more we can really say about it.
I mean,
it's just great. And then number one, process of elimination. My number one is Dark Eater Midir. Favorite fight, second favorite fight in the entire series, just behind Lady Maria. I just love. I think the only other boss that comes close to him, Calamite comes close, Renala comes close.
Wow, that's so great.
I know. Renala's a weird. Godric actually comes pretty close. He's not.
I love Godric.
Godric's great. But
definitely, that's a hot take for me. Godric, definitely the best fight in all of Elden.
He's probably number 2 or 3 for me in Elden Ring. He's so good.
I do not understand why he's so, or like why they not wasted him, but like kind of wasted him on such an early fight.
He should have been later.
For sure.
He should have been later. I love Godric. He's a great fight. But Midir, I just love Midir. I don't know. He's just a great fight. He's a dragon. I know. I'm a sucker for dragons. I guilty as charged, but shoot me. I don't know. All right, your number one, process of elimination.
Number one, Slave Knight Gale.
Slave Knight Gale. Oh my gosh, what can we say about Slave Knight Gale? Only thing I don't like about Slave Knight Gale, he's a little bit too hard for me.
Really?
Yeah, he's my hardest fight in Dark Souls 3.
Wow.
By far. He's harder than Midir. I mean, I don't know. People talk about Midir being so much harder. I'm like, I don't know why. He's harder. Gale's harder for me. I don't know why it is. I've only killed him a couple times because whenever I get to his fight, I'm just like, bruh, why am I sucking at you so bad? And so I never end up killing him because I'm just like, I want to beat the game. I want to go fight Soul of Cinder again. So I just skip Gale and go fight Soul of Cinder. But yeah.
I mean, for me, Gale is everything right about Dark Souls 3. It's everything that you want in a fight. It's basically Nameless King without the first phase, if you think about it that way.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Very similar style in like how they fight and all that stuff. Like, it's so much more. It's the best culmination of all of the work that had gone into the series. You have the best pacing in the fight. You have the best like dodge windows, hitboxes, all of that is showcased in Slave Knight Gale's fight. He has just the right amount of crazy for being, who he is. His lore, absolutely bonkers, so cool. Like the idea of like, oh hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't even notice that till I watched Democracy's video on the boss rankings, and he was like, yeah, Gale is just basically you as a Dark Souls player, and I was like, oh gosh dang it, he's right.
But I had that realization while I was playing it. I was like, oh, he's eaten the Dark Soul. Like that's what he's just trying to do that. Like that's what I've been doing this entire time. And so like I really like, the arena is okay. It's all right. Like totally makes sense with,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's just a little bit boring, but like again, like
so is Midir's.
Very much so. Yeah. I get that. So, but it's the perfect amount of pacing. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. There's the right amount of dodging time periods. There's the right amount of variability in his attacks. He has 3 distinct phases, and at some point he's flying up in the air with red fire skulls coming out of his cape while lightning is striking down, and you have to try and dodge this thing. Like, and the music is swelling, and there's so much just energy and so anime. Much. Basically, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much energy and so much just intensity in this. I understand that you have to. Soul of Cinder is the last boss in the game, because then you make the decision, and like that's what the end of the game is, right? Yeah. But the true feeling of the ending of like the series, the real cap off, is Soul of Cinder and Gale. In Gale, I think like Soul of Cinder is more along the lines of like lore based and just the nostalgia and the feeling, whereas Gale is the culmination of everything technical, everything like perfectly timed dodge windows, you know, perfectly like very crisp animation, like all of that coming together, and like everything that has been worked on for, you know, all of these games coming before it. And so I just like, I know that other people have Gale at number one. I know I'm not, you know, novel in saying this, and like there's a reason why he would be, but there's also a reason why a lot of Elden Ring bosses are based off. I mean, like you think about like Malekith, right? Like
Yeah, he's basically just Gale on steroids.
Gale on steroids. They said, "Oh, you like Gale? All right, let's turn him up a notch." But it's all Gale. Like that's what it is. Like him flying up in the air, that's Gale. Like his influence into, you know, the next era of From Software games is from Gale. And so I think, you know, it's really cool to see that and see the pacing that happens with it.
Yeah, and I don't really have a lot to say negatively against Gale. Again, I just say I just think he's hard.
Yeah,
but like it's for me these top 5. It's more just a reflection on how much I enjoy the fight more than I think boss quality really is reflected there, because I think all 5 of them are on par with each other.
Yeah.
I know you don't think Abyss Watchers is, but that's a whole other story.
No shot.
But I think Abyss Watchers is up there in quality. But I think like Gale, I'll leave Abyss Watchers off to the side, but I'll leave Gale, Soul Cinder, Frida, and Meteor. I think all of them are definitely the upper echelon, and it's just more of which one do I prefer. And for me, it's Meteor. For you, it's Gale, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah. But
that's my preference. It's all about preference.
It's all about preference. Unless Abyss Watchers are included in this.
Just wrong. That's just wrong. Factually incorrect.
I'll never be able to justify my Abyss Watchers placement.
It's because you're wrong.
I just love them so much. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, like it's funny because like I don't even have Abyss Watchers like that low. Like they're like 13th.
No, they're not terrible.
They're like right in the middle for me. But
yeah, I don't know. I just love them. Our discussion about our favorite bosses in Dark Souls 3 went on a little bit longer than I think we were expecting it to be honest with you. But I enjoyed it. I thought we had a good time, good conversation, good banter, good insults traded back and forth, good compliments traded back and forth, more importantly. Anyways, thank you, Bryce, for joining me on this video. I know you were very excited to film this, and hopefully it was not an awful experience for you.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Mr. Jerry McBerry of McBerry's Miss Bisberriesness.
It's actually McBerry's Berries.
Can I just call you Jared?
That's fine.
All right. Well, thanks, Jared, for having me.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Let us know if there's any other random kind of if there's any other kind of rankings or conversations you want to see us have. We will definitely be down to do that kind of thing. So yeah, just if there's anything else, if you agree with our lists, please let us know. If you disagree with our lists and you hate us now, please let us know in the comments below. If you think that I'm stupid for putting Abyss Watchers at number 3, and please flame me in the comments. All of the good stuff. Bryce seems like he wants to say something before we cut out. What do you want to say?
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.